So thanks for taking part in our interview series, actually the first one, so we're quite excited to have you as a guest. We prepared some questions to discuss the impact that COVID has on the current sales environment. Since there were a lot of changes happening and a lot of structural changes also have been accelerated recently just through COVID, especially B2B sales has been affected. So I'm very interested to learn how it affected you and basically what changed for you, what's the new normal and what are changes that you expect to get back to the old normal. But before we start diving into the content, it would be amazing if you would just briefly tell me a little bit about yourself and your background in sales and what you do at Personio.
Yeah, happy to do that. And thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here as well. A little bit of a spoiler, as we've been working with you guys already for quite a few years. For us, didn't change so much, but I'll tell a little bit about what actually changed and how things evolved over the last couple of weeks. But a few words about myself. I'm VP Sales at Personio. Joined about 2 years ago. Responsible now for the DACH market as we've expanded and increased the organization quite a bit. I think when I started, we were about 7 or 8 people in my team, and now my team has about 80. And the overall sales organization is beyond 100. And before I joined Personio, I started my sales career in 2007, like 1 year before the financial crisis, before Lehman broke down and everything went into tears. And it was an interesting experience because it reminds me a little bit about what's going on right now. And the fascinating thing from a job perspective, yes, we saw implications and sales weren't going as fast as we were hoping it would go. But still, I think compared to where software was in 2007 and where software or SaaS or cloud is now, I think these are completely two different worlds. And I think like 10, 13 years fast forward, we will see probably a similar perspective when looking into what happened during the current crisis. So, I think like learning sales in such a tough environment was a very interesting and relevant experience to me because it kind of shapes you, and it's not just like receiving faxes when everything is going super nice. It's more like you have to work your ass off and do what's necessary. I think that's a very critical element when you're in sales at whatever time, because the people who are doing the necessary, I think that's the big differentiator. They are probably the most successful. And then obviously other factors come in like talent and so on. But that's a little bit to me.
That's super exciting, actually, that you also have the context of the last crisis. I think then you can like even more contribute to sharing your experiences from comparing the environment, how it was back then, and also what you expect to be the new normal now after this crisis. And that's actually super interesting. I mean, B2B SaaS typically focuses on inside sales anyway. So you said that not so much has changed for you. However, I think there were definitely some impacts that the current situation had on B2B sales, especially also in the SaaS industry. So I would be also curious to learn what impacts you saw on your business, and also what maybe framing in a bit more positive way, also what new opportunities emerged from that current situation that you expect to benefit from going forward.
Yeah, definitely. I think to elaborate just quickly, especially on our situation, why I say not too much has changed for us. I think like we are focusing on small, medium business companies and startups, German Mittelstand, and everything that's kind of similar in Europe. So that means our deal size is not that super large. I mean, we don't have like multi-million-dollar checks that we're closing on a frequent basis. So typically we were anyway relying on a very efficient way of selling. And with that said, you're not coming around an inside sales approach. And with an inside sales approach, obviously you need a good way to demonstrate your product, where we, like, as I said from the beginning, actually, I think relied on Demo Desk. And I think for us, it was not like something, oh shit, we're now going from face-to-face meetings to we need to do everything remote and we need to learn these things ad hoc. We were actually in this process already, and we are kind of like, I think, very good at it. What happened actually, like as we are like venturing out a little bit up market, we also used to have a few more face-to-face meetings, which we couldn't do anymore. But nonetheless, that means not our business has stopped. Obviously, our business is impacted like everybody else's. I think it would be a dream, or not everybody can, let's say, be Zoom. So that you go from, I don't know, 9 million to 200 million active daily users. So I think not everybody has the same opportunity. But I think short term, yes, we see the impact. But long term, I think also our business will benefit significantly, because when people are in home office, they don't want to send like physical paper to submit their vacation or something like that to the office so that it arrives 5 days later. They want to do that ad hoc in a very, like, let's say, modern fashion. And that's the only simplest use case that I can think of. And there's a couple other things that will benefit us on a mid and long-term perspective. Yeah, but ultimately, as every startup, as every company, you need to manage through that crisis in a tactical way, so that, like, when the crisis is over, you come out and you can accelerate again.
Yeah, I also think that definitely there, especially digital companies and SaaS companies, especially where you are not necessarily dependent on what's installed in your local desktop and your local computer that you might be only able to use from the office. That basically that type of the market, or that part of the market, is 100% profiting over the long term from the current situation, the current developments, because like everything is moving to the cloud anyway, and it just makes so much sense that wherever you are, whether you're in the office or at home, you can work in the things that you need to work in, and also access all the tools that you need.